Live at Moody's Country Store and Barbecue, bringing you the best in real Texas barbecue. This is Sooner Sports Talk on the Sooner Sports Network from Learfield.
Left wing inside the arc, spin back, 3-ball in the air. Got it! Between his legs, drives baseline, up and under, got fouled, put it up, and one! And he flexes. Crossover into the lane, goes right by everybody, and he hammers it. Rebound battered around, it's up, it's no good! You cannot hitch the wagon! Put the ponies in the barn!
Sooner Sports Talk is brought to you by Dos Equis, official import beer of OU Athletics. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Now here's Chris Plank.
And we are pumped to be joined on the stage by OU women's basketball coach Jennie Baranczyk. What's up, Coach? How are you? And the freshman sensation that's taken over the country, Aaliyah Chavez. Welcome, Aaliyah. How are you?
Hey, guys.
First time here?
Yes.
Well, not first time
not
at
first
Rudy's.
time. Yeah.
We're having a conversation.
Right,
Fan of this place, right?
Yes, definitely.
What's the go-to?
Definitely the ribs, but cream corn has to, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome.
Did you want me to comment on her decisions or no?
Sure. Yeah. Well,
Go ahead.
What's your
Okay.
go-to?
Well, I
We
have
guessed
about-
the healthiest
No,
thing
I
on the
wasn't talking
menu.
about my go-to.
Oh.
The creamed corn, really.
That's like an old
Okay.
person's
Oh,
side.
it's healthy.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Here it is.
Here it is.
Here it is.
All right.
Hey, first and foremost, Coach, thank you so much for finding time. I know the schedule's busy. Not the week that you wanted, but have you seen this team learn from it?
You know, there's a lot of lessons that we can learn in this. I think we were in 2 games that really can go either way, and they didn't go the way that we wanted them to go. And I think this team is one that I think is going to continue to learn. I think there's a lot of really good takeaways. You know, some of us met today in watching the film and taking those lessons away. And you know, the other thing, I saw a lot of our players in the gym today.
That's good.
And when you have that on an off day, and you have the team that's invested, I think they're just going to continue to get better and invest in each other even more. But they've also been put in some positions really early on in the season that they've never been in. You know, there have been big shots taken, big rebounds made, big rebounds missed. You know, big defensive plays that we've had to make that we got done, some that we didn't. Baskets that go in, baskets that don't go in. End-of-game situations in 2 games back to back. So again, a lot of really good takeaways and lessons learned, and I know that it just continues to build, you know, resiliency, grit, and this team's going to learn and be a lot better for it.
What's the response you've seen from your teammates today?
I would definitely agree with, we're just trying to focus on the next game, not worried about what's going on in the past, but learn from it more of. And I think the people that I've met with, our starting 5, we came together and figured out some solutions. So it's going to be great moving on.
For you, what has that process been like as a freshman, as a newcomer? Obviously, one of the top recruit in the country, big time. But what's that been like to mesh with the experienced locker room that Oklahoma has?
No, yeah, I mean, everyone's been great so far. I feel like just moving on in the games and going forward, you can see my teammates trust me, and that's what's so great about Oklahoma is they trusted me to hit that last shot in Kentucky, and even though I missed it, everyone was together and was like, "You're okay." Everyone misses shots, and they were like, "You can't blame yourself on that game." So just seeing how many people care about me here.
And Coach, for you, what have you seen in the growth of Aaliyah in a very veteran locker room?
Yeah, and I'll try to make it really fast because I know we don't have too much, and I want you to hear from her. But no, honestly, I mean, she's so incredibly special, and I knew that she was really good. Obviously, I saw her enough times in summer basketball, and I've seen her enough times in her high school. I knew she was a special player. I think her desire to be great is outstanding, and I don't mean that in terms of being a scorer. I mean she wants to be great in everything that she does, and so when she steps across the line, she's competing. I already see her off-ball movement. You know, that's something that she never had to do. I don't know how many assisted shots she had prior to coming here. And so she had the ball in her hands a lot. And so you can see her learning how to put her team in good positions, how to be able to, you know, there's moments that she's taken over a game. There's moments that she's learning to get us in the offense. Her communication is going to continue to grow. Her confidence, her presence continues to grow every game. You know, she has so much belief in her team and they have so much belief in her. So she's just really, really special. I love coaching her. I love that you can be really hard on her in one possession, and then the next one she's right there locked in with you. She doesn't turn on you, and she doesn't turn on her team, and I think that's a credit to her character and who she is.
What was the genesis, the start for you of that mindset of where you're going to do something? You're not just going to do it, you're going to go out there and be great at it. What's kind of the genesis of that?
Just the hours I put in the gym. I know my dad's always been in there with me, and he's always had confidence in me. So just coming into the game, like, if I'm going to shoot the shot, then I'm going to make the shot. And that's what I believe every time I shoot a shot. Or if I make a play, like, I'm like, okay, this pass is getting there. Like, I just have so much confidence in my game.
Shout out to Dad. He's here tonight,
yes,
right?
He
there
is.
he is. There he is. What's up, Pops? Thank you. Love having you guys here in Oklahoma. For you personally, take me through the family aspect and what that's meant to you and how important it is.
No, yeah, it's huge. I mean, the first time we started, he didn't want me to play basketball. He was like, this is not a sport for you. So just come in, and he pushed me as hard as I could and was like, you're not playing. Like, you're going to quit instead. And seeing that I had that fight in me, and then he believed in me. So he's been huge in just my whole game, my personality, everything. Like, I wouldn't be the person or player without him, for sure.
How, well, when did you know? When did it kind of click that, all right, I'm not going to quit. I'm good at this. When did it kind of resonate with you that you could play hoops at this level?
Well, I mean, I believed the whole time. It was kind of when did he click? When did he think I was going to be able to? I think it kind of came once I really didn't quit. I feel like basketball was going to be the sport that either I made it in or I didn't make it in, but I was going to keep on fighting for it.
What has been the biggest adjustment? Because, Coach, let's just talk on the court first. Coach talked about, you probably didn't have to do a lot of off-the-ball movement whenever you were dominating high school and AAU, but what's maybe on the court been one of the biggest adjustments for you?
Probably just how physical everybody is. I think this is more physical than high school basketball or AAU basketball, so that's probably the biggest adjustment so far. And I would also say, I think how she said, I don't come off the ball a lot in high school or in AAU. Now coming off the ball, it's like, okay, now how do I read something? Like, how do I get myself open or get my teammates open? So that's probably the biggest adjustment too.
Have you seen that adjustment go, Coach, for her?
Oh, I mean, I think she's still growing. I think she, literally every game you can see it. I mean, the first exhibition game that we had, and I'm like, you're bringing the ball up the sideline. She's like, it's physical. I'm like, this doesn't count. We're in the SEC, And so you can tell that now, but now she's owning her space a little bit more, right? And the teams that's part of their game plan is to be able to be physical with her. But I think she's really worked on her game, and she's stronger than she thinks she is. And the game is different. She can kind of make some reads mentally and be able to, we've got to be able to, we played her a lot of minutes these last couple games, and so we've got to be able to manage that a little bit more to keep her fresh, especially kind of in those end-of-game situations. But I will say that her defense, she's guarding with passion. She runs the floor with passion. Like, she moves a lot. So a lot of times, I knew she played hard, but I didn't know she played as hard as she does when she's on the floor. And so that's something that we're learning how to manage too when the game is physical. But I agree, the physicality was going to be a huge adjustment for her, as is the length of the floor, as is just the play and the style, and the players are just bigger, and you're older and you're smarter, and they're scouting, and they're, every game plan is different, and so it's fun to be able to see that and see what other people think of you too. Yeah,
I've heard your teammates. We had Reagan here last week, and she referred to you as a gym rat, someone that's always in the gym working. Is that a fair assessment? You feel like that's what you're about?
I would agree with that. I mean, I think she took me home yesterday after the game, and we kind of talked about it, and she was like, well, how's it been living in Norman? I was like, I mean, I don't really go anywhere. Like, it's gym, home, academics.
But you come to Rudy's.
And we got to Rudy's.
And you eat the ribs.
And I eat the ribs, yes. But it's like I'm in the gym or I'm at home. That's about it.
That's awesome. So it's for you, it's hoops. Do you have anything else? Are you a reader? Are you a podcast listener? What do you do in your free time, or is it all hoops?
It's basically all hoops and sleeping. Definitely love my sleep.
And I know we only got about a minute left with you, Lee, but I did want to ask, it is a different world because you you obviously were in a program where you were taking care of your body and you were working out. Maybe it's a bit of a different level in the college ranks. What has that been for you? What's that been like for you on the strength and conditioning side of things?
I mean, we've had a great strength and conditioning coach. Shout out to Parker, but it's a learning experience, and I feel like I'm growing each and every day of it. And I know that everyone, all the coaches and all my strength and conditioning coach, everybody's putting me in the best situation for be able to be ready for the game.
Man, you're sharp. This is awesome. I can talk to you all night long.
No, she really is. I mean, this is her. This is who she is. She wants to be great, and she wants everyone around her to be great. And this is, she doesn't show up moody. She comes with a really good attitude. She's really coachable, sometimes almost too coachable. I mean, there's times where it's like I kindly say something to her on the floor, and she looks back so nice at me most times. But
she doesn't see the when I look away.
That's okay.
From her.
Oh, no, you're very obvious. You're very obvious. But so am I. So it works.
Yeah.
And this is a potential career path after hoops for you, right? You wouldn't mind getting into broadcasting. Media still something you're looking at, or?
I thought you were talking about coaching. Yeah.
Coaching,
okay.
yes.
Right.
That's what I'm
trying to
hoping
talk
for.
you into media.
Do you
right?
think you'll be as nice as I am?
No, definitely not.
I don't think that was actually a compliment.
It depends.
Move on.
Yeah, next.
Great stuff.
Next
Thanks for
year.
coming
Thank
up with us. So, Leah Chavez, our opening segment's been presented by Noble McIntyre Law. At McIntyre Law, award-winning Oklahoma personal injury attorney. Sahara Williams joins us on the stage next.
Sooner Sports Talk is brought to you by Bob Moore Ford, official sponsor of the Patriot of the Game. Riverwind Casino, the official entertainment destination of OU Athletics. Walden Cleaners and Laundry, where the difference is quality. Love's, the heart of the highway.
Welcome back to Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. It is Sooner Sports Talk, and this segment is presented by Dos Equis. Dos Equis, the official import beer of OU Athletics. Go for Dos. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Another segment with women's head coach Jenny Baranczyk, and Sahara Williams joins us on the stage. What's going on? Welcome to Rudy's.
What's up?
Thanks for taking time on what is a quote-unquote day off, but how was recovery for you today after I'm sure it was frustrating on Sunday?
No, it was a good day. I think recovery is really important. So this morning we definitely got in and had some meetings and just watched film and just kind of worked through some things and just had some kind of hard conversations, but good conversations that really good teams need. And just got in with my teammates and just communicated how we were feeling, what we were feeling. Jenny definitely let us know what she expected out of us.
In a really nice way.
In a really nice way, but she has very high standards for us, as she should. So just kind of working through some things and just figured it out.
Coach, how, I guess the term would be reassuring, maybe even if you can say exciting after a couple tough losses, to hear that there were uncomfortable conversations that were had, that this is the kind of locker room that's not afraid to have those kind of conversations with each other.
Well, again, experience is our best teacher, right? And we have to go through life and experience things to be able to learn things. And you can't, as much as you can say in a box out drill in October, this is going to lose you a game.
Right.
Right? Until you go in the last 2 minutes of a game and you're down and you play defense for a whole minute because we don't box out. That's hard. Or this free throw box out matters and then we give up a big one, right? Those things are things that stick with you. The feeling you have of an end of game situation, whether it's a big shot in the last 2 minutes or end of a game, kind of like we were just talking about, you can practice that all you want, but until you actually feel that and understand the feeling of that, then you know the next one's like, okay, now we know we got to box out. Now we know, and experience is our best teacher. So those shots, they go in because now you know how to feel and see it go in, and you change the outcome in your mind. And those are the things that you never want to learn those and lose, but also you don't want to not learn when you do lose. And so these are really cool opportunities in life for us to keep doing harder things because the road doesn't get easier.
Right.
You don't just lose these games and now all of a sudden the opponents roll over for you because you're motivated to win. And that's another lesson we had to learn. They're not going to roll over for you. And nobody's going to roll over for you at home. No one's going to roll over for you on the road. In fact, people might show up and they might be better than they're supposed to be against you. And so that's life. And so how do we get better and how do we set a tone? You know, we learned from one game to the next. Our Ole Miss game, we didn't show up in the first quarter and look what happened. Kentucky was the opposite. We came out great. And then we just got a little tight as time went on. So it gives me reassurance that I know this group wants to learn, craves learning. But even more when you have such a talented group and they just want to be really good. And I think we have really had to grow from wanting to individually be good to wanting to win every possession and knowing that we can. So we've talked a lot about building trust. We've talked a lot about not fearing failure. We've talked a lot about, you know what, we can't put so much on one little thing. We got to put, you know, we got to lean on each other a little bit more. So it gives me a lot of, I don't know, confidence. I don't lack confidence, but I'm sure as hell not lacking confidence in this group.
Wow, that's great to hear, and that's got to be great to hear from your coach, right?
Yeah.
The confidence she has in you.
Yeah.
But you guys, from the perspective, I mean, it seems like it's a group that really meshes well together, Sahara. What have you kind of seen that's helped this team kind of continue to grow its bond?
I think it's just how much we love to be around each other. Like, we really enjoy each other's presence. Like, we love hanging out, like, outside. We hang out in the locker room, like, and when we're on the court and when we're in practice, we're, like, engaged. And we have fun, but Jenny's like, all right, let's lock in. And, like, we can do that and we can flip the switch. And I think she kind of gives us the freedom to really have fun and, you know, just have fun with the craft. Like, this is what we do. It's basketball, but it's like you got to love the people you're doing it with. You gotta love why you show up every day. You got to love your coaches. You really got to love everything about it to show up. But you got to serve your team. And I think she's really harps on that with us, and I think she makes sure that we are going to be a team, even when it's uncomfortable and when it sucks. But there's all good and bad, and it's all bad and good, and I think we're going to get better. And I think, like she says, a confidence piece, we just won't lack. So.
This is why everyone thinks she's my favorite.
It's all good and bad, and it's all bad and good. I mean, that's what a great way to look at it. From your perspective, what has the process been like for you in coming in, a big-time recruit, having the success you've had, but also being a student of the game, being a fan, playing in the SEC against the best week in and week out? What's that adjustment been like for you?
It's just been fun. Like, honestly, for me, the funnest part is really getting to build a relationship with my teammates and, like, seeing them succeed. Like, I love when I can see the freshmen and the sophomores, like, genuinely get better. And, like, even watching Aaliyah, like, how much she's grown and, like, just really pouring into them and investing in the younger generation and understanding that how much we need them. So I think for me, that's really been the most fun part. But obviously, the SEC is the best conference in the country. Like, iron sharpens iron. This is the conference you want to be in if you want to compete for a national championship. And just also doing it with a coach like Jenny, who's like uber confident. You know, we don't got to be pretty, but we're gonna get the job done. And I just love.
We could use to be a little more pretty.
Yep. And you see, she's gonna be real with you too. So, like, you know, like you gotta love it.
That's a little prettier
But
than
no.
grinding it out.
See, the truth, I love it. But no, it's just been fun. Like, it's really been fun. You know, figuring it out together and just going all in with these 11 and, you know, the groups that I've been with in the past. But this group is really genuinely special.
I feel like there's been I don't know if the term would be a renewed commitment or if it's just to say y'all are better there. It seems like this is a much better defensive basketball team this year. Is that a fair assessment? Was that a focus for you guys, Sahara, this offseason?
Absolutely. Like, we're in the SEC. You got to be able to guard. And I think Jenny's always like, well, we're going to score 100 points anyways, but you got to stop them from scoring. And I think when we really saw the athleticism, there's the young, fun spirit and just the joy to want to play and just win and, like, just the competitiveness. It's hard to not play defense when you got athletic, good people who can do it. And so just understanding how much defense creates offense in this system, like, you got to take pride and you got to guard to win games in the SEC.
All right, let's talk about the upcoming schedule because it's not easy. But we also know that going into the SEC, and we also know that it's a great opportunity to get out and support the Sooners because LSU is coming to town. Your upcoming schedule is brought to you by One Oklahoma. One Oklahoma powered by Sooner Sports Properties. This Sunday, all the eyes in the college basketball world are going to be on Norman. And then they'll be on Norman again on Thursday. So we need the fans to be out there and support this more than anything, and there's great deals to be a part of this.
We do, and we need Oklahoma fans to be able to come out and to be part of this. I mean, let's be honest, you know, especially LSU, they're going to travel really well. It's not too far, so that's something that we've got to make sure that we focus on, and we do. And you know what? Our team, we've got to be ready. And that's going to be, we get a week to be ready, and we will be, and we're going to be hungry, and we're going to, but it's not all about your opponent, it's about how much better you get. I want us to be able to play Oklahoma basketball on Sunday. So I know LSU's good. It's going to be a great game. It's a great game from a national perspective, but you're right, all eyes are on Norman, and people will be looking at Oklahoma and say, okay, everyone in the country from a women's basketball perspective is circling this game. So our people here, we have to show up, and we have to fill our stands, and we have to show heart and soul. I mean, we're given everything that we have from a fan perspective. You guys have been amazing, and our team is going to get better for you, and I can promise you that.
And Sahara, you guys feed off that energy, don't you, whenever you have the crowd in it like they are?
Absolutely. Definitely, obviously, us 11, we have to create that, and we have to want people to come watch us. But when the crowd's in it, it's like you got to show up and get a fan to show. Like, people don't just show up for no reason. So I think that definitely makes a big difference.
All right, we got the Rudy's question for you, Coach. This one comes from John. He wants to know, how are the kids doing? Is Jordy ready for another TV appearance? By the way, it's brought to you by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, Real Texas Barbecue at Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. How are the kiddos doing?
Well, I can tell you about my drop-off at school this morning. So, I haven't seen them a lot, and they had games tonight in practice. And I said, well, I have the radio show, so I'm not going to be there. And Hope says, oh, God, you guys, you always miss everything. You do everything, right? So she's now there. She's 8. And Jordy said, well, you better be watching film, and you better get your team ready, because you guys have got – I hope that's what you're doing all day, because I tell you what, maybe you need to make a video or something and motivate them, because you got to figure out some way. And I said, yep, I got it. And Eli's like, calm down, everybody, calm down. She's got to work, and I'd play better without her anyway. So that's, yeah.
Good times.
So yeah, that was the nice 5 minutes I got to see them this morning. So I hope at least had her hair brushed.
Oh, that's awesome.
So they asked me the other day, I said, favorites, right? So
Yeah.
it's like, who's your favorite? I said that to the team. I said, ask me which one of my kids is my favorite, right?
Right.
So I asked my kids that question.
What did they say?
Okay. Eli says Jordy.
Uh-huh.
Jordy said Eli. And Hope said, I am. That's my life, everybody.
You're the best, Coach.
Appreciate
That's
y'all.
Jenny Baranczyk. Porter Moser joins us next.
Sooner Sports Talk is brought to you by Sooner Kids Club. Log on to Soonersports.com/kids for information about joining the Kids Club, presented by OG&E and brought to you in part by Devon Energy. We want to thank all of our Sooner Radio Network affiliates across the state and region. Fans can check out Soonersports.com for an affiliate in your area. And if you're traveling outside the state of Oklahoma, you can listen to all the action on either SiriusXM Radio or download the Varsity Network app and listen free. Dos Equis, the official import beer of OU Athletics. Go for Dos. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. One Oklahoma, powered by Sooner Sports Properties. Fan-fueled, athlete-focused. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, bringing you the best in real Texas barbecue.
All right, welcome back to Sooner Sports Talk, live from Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. Thanks to Jenny Baranczyk, Sahara Williams, and Aaliyah Chavez. We shift our focus now to the men's side. Please join me in welcoming Porter Moser, the OU head basketball coach.
Chris.
What's up, Coach? And Xavier Brown. Welcome, man. First time here, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's your first time at Rudy's, but first time we've had you on the show,
Yes,
right?
yes. First time here.
Welcome, man. Well, Coach, give us the recap. I know a bit of a frustrating week, but how you feeling about the way this team's responded the last 48 hours?
This team has been always responding. I mean, we didn't play well. I will say this: we didn't play well in spurts. I thought, starting with the Mississippi State game, I thought our defense, the first half was as good as a half of defense that we had. We held them to like 27 points. The things they were doing. And it was the rebounding, and I thought Josh Hubbard, their all-league player, I thought he was, he had 30 points, but we looked at, when you rewatch every one of them, it was hard shot. He was really well defended, but that was a big problem in that game. Is some of the shots like contested he made, and then the rebounding. There's X right now on the break. He's really hard to guard in that transition right there to foul.
1 on 3, man. You didn't mess around.
I thought he got fouled. he got fouled. But, like, there's Nigel right there. That's what we call a Gortat. He comes off the screen and he kind of holds off the defender. They're playing a drop coverage. I know Florida does that as well. But just being able to go in transition like that, there's an action with X coming off the ball. You know, he's so hard with that little pull-up right there in transition right there. There's Tay also going downhill. So I thought, you know, it got away from us, you know, with the rebound. We were down 8, and we had a one-on-one to cut it to 6. We missed the front end of the one-on-one. They come down, hit a 3, and it goes to 11. And then we came down, missed another front end one-on-one. They came down and scored. So, but like as you can see, this game it was really, really physical. There's Jadon hitting a 3, but I really thought that the rebounding, and that's got to be something that carries over to Florida, is the way Florida rebounds. But like even right there, that was well guarded by Hubbard. I mean, you see that clip right there. Hubbard just made some spectacular shots, but I thought our effort was really good at Mississippi State. I thought we weren't. I just thought the physicality rebounding. We had a couple of our guys. We lost the line of scrimmage in there, and the other thing we'll talk about is we've got to have. I thought in our first win against Ole Miss, we had a lot of production from our bench. We call them our second shift, and we've got to have better production. And so the margin for error is so small. But in the 2 games on the road, our bench scored a combined 3 baskets. And that's really, really hard when the bench goes there 3 baskets. And we need them. I met with a bunch of them individually, and just like we need that push, being ready to come in the game. But it puts a lot of pressure when we don't have that.
Yeah, Xavier, I'm just curious from your perspective. Obviously, how do you handle defeats? I mean, and obviously they suck, but are you I got to get back in the gym guy? I got to get away from it for a little bit guy? What's kind of been your approach historically?
I would say I'm always in the gym. You know, I just love basketball so much, and losses don't sit well with me. So I'm like always eager to get back in the gym, always eager to play the next game. But like luckily we play in a great conference, so you don't have time to really dwell on any losses. So we always have the next game, which is a big test, and every opponent in our league is good. So there's no time to really just sit there and dwell, and we just have to get ready for that next game.
Yeah, and you know, I love the history of basketball. You come from St. Joe's, Philly, that area, LaSalle, Drexel. You know, you got Villanova. Everyone is right there, and it's always a great battle. So you understand what big time hoops is about when you come to the SEC. But what has that level been like through your first 3 SEC games? About what you expected?
Yeah, definitely. It's just fun, you know, just great competitive hoops. I think the biggest thing I've learned so far is just the little margin of error there is, because you have to do so many specific little detailed things to get the wins, and now we're just trying to get those wins right now, but we have to be detail oriented and do those little things to get the wins.
What have you seen from Xavier, Coach?
Well, I was going to say, when you asked that question, like how does defeat sit with them? One is they don't. You know, like that's good. You know, you want that. But the other thing is he's got a mentality where he has that. He's like, where could I do better? You know, him and I sat one-on-one today and just talked about some of the things, and he's just so receptive. And I'll tell you, in life, for anybody, you know, when things don't go your way, you can either take an approach of get better or a victim mentality. And he just, you know, we talked about things he could have done better in the last game, and he's just so receptive to that. And, you know, sometimes in coaching, guys will fight on that. But he doesn't. He's really open to get better. Here's some games in the earlier of the year. There was their Bedlam win. He's been huge for us, you know. Coming out, you know, he twisted an ankle in the Alcorn State game. No, it was before that, right?
No, it was the Alcorn.
It was the Alcorn State game. And we had to go on a 3-game road trip. Marquette, Wake Forest, Arizona State. And he was playing on like a half an ankle, and he gutted it through. And then when he got healthy, he came back in this game, and that was the first time he was healthy again, and he just was on a tear. He fought through the Ole Miss game sick. So it's you know competitors. He's fighting through stuff. He's, you know, injuries, health, and but he makes us go. He really does. I mean, with the ball in transition, offensively, he really makes us go.
You know, Coach just mentioned you take coaching well. There's a little history there. Pops is a coach too. Has it always been something to where, Dad being a coach has kind of helped you embrace the I guess the corrections and the coaching that you get?
I would say, yeah. I just feel like I've always been one who listens. So I think him being in my life has also made it easier to take coaching from other coaches too. But for the most part, I feel like I've always been one to listen.
Would you consider yourself a gym rat? Are you a guy that loves to be in the gym?
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
Hey, last week we had Nigel Pack up here. You guys are both pretty much point guards. Both have had the ball. What's that been like to play with him?
Super fun. He's very talented, very smart, and very unselfish. So it's kind of been very easy. Easier than maybe some people would think. Just two new players, but we have that common idea and goal that we just want to win, and we put the team first. So I think that what makes our relationship good.
What'd you see in Xavier that brought him here, Coach?
I would just say that's deja vu. Isn't that almost
that's
Nigel's
what Nigel
exact
said last
answer?
week here. Yeah,
it was almost his exact answer when they asked him about you. He said he's great to play with. He's unselfish. He's a competitor. He wants to. It was almost deja vu. But one of the things I saw in X when we were recruiting him is just his ability to score at all three levels. He can get to the rim. He's got a great mid-range game, and he also got a three-point game. The other thing is some guys are faster with the ball than without. I think you're one of the guys. I think you're faster with the ball than I think you and I, if we run a sprint, we'll be in there. But when he's got the ball in his hands, he's a blur, and he goes downhill. And he does have that coach's mentality, IQ that's fun to coach with that. And I just think his game's growing and growing and growing because of his willingness to learn and get better and to work at it and get in the gym.
All right, X, I'll cut you loose after one more question. What did draw you to Norman? What kind of brought you here to Oklahoma? When you were in the portal, what really stood out about OU basketball?
I would just first say Coach. Just talking to him on the phone, it was very fun, just great, genuine conversations. And then I met the rest of the coaching staff. Everybody here is all about OU, and I just love that part, just meeting and getting to know great people. I was a little skeptical about Norman at first, just coming from Philadelphia.
I get it. I think we all were whenever we came here the first time.
Just coming from Philadelphia, being a big city, but honestly, when I got down here, it felt great, and it felt at home, and then the people are just so nice and welcoming, and I honestly do love it here.
You can kind of immerse yourself in the people of Philadelphia because there's so many people and there's so much going on. In Norman, they're going to find you, right?
Yeah,
it's a small town feel. That's been a bit of an adjustment, right?
Yeah, but I love it.
That's awesome, man. Yep. Hey, and then one quick final thought. In that locker room, there is a lot of new, but how have you guys as a team mesh? And as a leader, what's that process been like for you?
I would also say, like I said about Nigel, everybody on our team is very unselfish and just team first people. So it's kind of been easier than what people would think. The locker room's been great. We all are for each other. We all have that great bond. We're actually friends, not just teammates. So, it's kind of easier to go to practice and go into games just when you care about the person next to you like a brother. So.
It's awesome, man. Great job, man. Appreciate you. Thanks,
Thank you.
Xavier.
Thanks.
Xavier Brown, this segment's been brought to you by Riverwind Casino. Always a good time. We'll look ahead to the Florida game with Porter next. This is Sooner Sports Talk.
OU's 2025-2026 women's basketball games are available on Ritmo 96.5 FM in Oklahoma City and 101.5 FM El Patron in Tulsa, as well as on those stations' websites. Each OU Spanish broadcast will feature a 15-minute pregame show and a 15-minute postgame show. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, bringing you the best in real Texas barbecue. The Sooner Sports Podcast is your all-access audio pass to Sooner Sports. Listen as Toby Rowland and Chris Plank talk all things Sooners. Log on to Soonersports.com/podcast or search Sooner Sports Podcast in your favorite podcast provider. The Sooner Sports Podcast is presented by Allstate and Riverwind Casino.
I would like to apologize to Xavier Brown for trying to usher him off stage. My bad. Forgive me.
Yes, sir.
We got one more segment because you got the fam here.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I didn't. You got Dad here. You got your sisters here too.
Yep.
Introduce them to everybody here. What's up, Coach? How you guys doing back over there?
Coach Scott, Amber, how are you guys doing?
Hey, there, Amber gave. Hey, what's up, Amber? She's clapping. She's over there. That's awesome, man. Family means a lot to you, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
And whenever you're around your dad as much as you are, that's got to be pretty cool, right?
Totally. Yes.
And Coach Brown's been a great addition to your staff, hasn't he?
It's been such a grand slam for me. I was saying it to some reporters the other day that I think they're doing a nice article on him, and it was just, for him, he's got such a great way to communicate with the players, holding them accountable, but also having just such a great way with the players, but really smart on the floor. And sometimes when you're the new coach, and nowadays you got more numbers than we used to, and you just try to find your way, and he's really done a great job coming in and just really finding his impact with us. And so it's been a great transition having him, and I love it too because the messages that go to X.
Yeah.
Sometimes you worry about with the messages and you don't. I mean, he's the messages and how he is with X, but he's like that way with all the guys. And just been a grand slam for us having Justin Scott and our staff.
Yeah, and this is my crutch because I got to go on one trip, so I'll mention it every single Rudy show. But I did get to go with the guys at Gonzaga, and I was watching, Coach, and just to see the way that you guys interact with the players, and it's really cool. It seems like this whole team has a really good bond, which I would assume helps when it comes to bouncing back from adversity, right? Because you can have honest talks with each other.
No, that's exactly right. We were, I think last week's show we were just coming off the Ole Miss game, and but now we just came off 2 road losses, and we have to stay together and bounce back, and we got to just take the approach. Where can we get better? We have to be relentless on where can we get better, and we didn't play the best defense at A&M. We turned it over too much. We had our opportunities, and it would just we let it slip away. It starts with me on that, and I told him that. And we've got to be better. And against Florida, they pose a different kind of challenge, and you all see it. We played Florida last year, and obviously they won the national championship. But they're probably one of the biggest teams in college basketball you'll see. They go 6'11", 6'10", and we have to rebound. They're one of the best. Well, they are the best offensive rebound team in the country. So we got to bounce back and come in and know what we got to do to win this game.
So let's take a look at our upcoming Sooners schedule this week, which is presented by One Oklahoma. And you heard Coach Moser just mention it, the defending national champs are coming to town Tuesday night, tomorrow night, as we tape this live. It'll be a little bit of a later tip, 8 p.m. It's going to be on ESPN2, but no, don't worry about watching TV, Coach. We need a loud crowd. We need a crazy crowd out there. And then, oh, by the way, it doesn't get much easier because Alabama's coming in town this Saturday, too. It's this league, man.
Well, what did we say? What does that propose for us? Opportunity,
Opportunity,
right?
yes.
Opportunity.
Yep.
And that's what it is. I mean, it's opportunity. And I told the country, like, told our guys, like, there's a bunch of teams in the country that in different leagues. Our league, as hard it is to go through it, it's opportunity. It's a mindset, how you look at it. And we got an opportunity to play 2 top 20 teams at home. I hope we have great home court advantage. But whether we not or not, we got an opportunity to get a great win.
One Oklahoma, powered by Sooner Sports Properties, Fan Field, Athlete Focus. I don't know if we really went too in-depth on it, but you've played in the A-10. You've played physical basketball before. Is it a different physicality in the SEC that you've noticed?
Yeah, I would say so. Just different athletes, just the top of the top type of athletes, players, coaches too. So it's definitely been different.
We do have a question here tonight, and as always, you guys can hit your questions up for us at OU on the air. Randy wants to know, what's the battle been like between the NFL fandoms, and how's Xavier handling the Eagles' loss?
Today was a little tough day getting out of bed.
Well, you're defending Super Bowl champs, right?
Well, here's what's crazy. Ask him who Justin's favorite team is.
Who's
the 49ers.
Really? Look at that. Let's go.
He's in there clapping in his office.
With nobody left on defense, somehow they got to win. It was something else. Well, that's not good.
I know.
I mean, that'd be battles at the dinner table over that.
I got to hear about it.
And then you got Porter's Bears that are like on another level right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
tough,
man.
It's tough.
But you got the Super Bowl ring, so that's all that matters. You always, grew up in Philly?
Yes.
So were you always an Eagles fan?
Yep.
Sixers fan?
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say Allen Iverson, but that's probably.
Yeah, that was before.
Yeah. That's
Before I was
insane to me.
born.
That's insane to me. So if I say Sixers, I mean, who's
First
the
person?
Yeah.
Joel Embiid.
Oh
Saturday.
my gosh! Yeah, we're all getting old, aren't we? Rather quickly. That's your Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue question. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. Great host here of Sooner Sports Talk. All right, couple finals. We got less than a minute left, but Xavier, I guess for you, how do you feel about this team rebounding and getting things right tomorrow night against Florida?
I feel great. I think we had a great film session after our Texas A&M loss, and the guys are just excited for another opportunity, and we're just going to take everything we learned from that loss and try to get this win tomorrow.
Porter, what a challenge whenever you have that front line of Florida coming in, huh?
I tell you, it's interesting that the adjective he used for the film session was great, because sometimes when you have hard film sessions, that just shows you what kind of guy he is. Like they really take things. I remember talking to him in our office today. He's like, man, we've got to be better. We've got to be better defensively, and we do. Just some keys to the game. We've got to rebound against them, and that's just a big, huge key for us with that. And we got to get out and run and get some transition points. They don't come easy because they're so good defensively, because they're huge. And we've got to loosen them up and play with a great pace.
Great stuff, man. Now, I appreciate you. Sorry I tried to usher you off for your learn. You're the man, Coach. Best of luck tomorrow. That's Porter Moser. That's Xavier Brown. This segment's been brought to you by Mercy. Your life is our life's work. We're back to wrap it up next.
We'd like to thank our OU community outreach partners, Fowler Auto Group, OU Health, OG&E, and Coca-Cola. Sooner Sports Talk is brought to you by OU Fan Shop. The best place to gear up for game day is shop.soonersports.com.
All right, thanks for joining us live here at Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue for the Huddle and Sooner Sports Talk. Our final segment, as always, is brought to you by Love's Travel Stops. Love's Travel Stops is the heart of the highway. And if you miss any of it, you can check it out on the podcast. Simply go to Soonersports.com/podcast, where you can find every episode of the Huddle, Sooner Sports Talk, and all the post-game shows. For Drake Dykin and our producer, Dan, I'm Chris Plank. We'll see you next week. Boomer Sooner, everybody.
Live at Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, Sooner Sports Talk has been brought to you by Dos Equis, official import beer of OU Athletics. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. And by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, bringing you the best in real Texas barbecue. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Sooner Sports Network.